All right, so let's try number 33 and 7.4. So we have a spy pushes a thumbtack into the bicycle tire of his enemy.
That's awesome.
I didn't know why you wouldn't just slash it. Whatever. All right, so
He only had a thumbtack.
the wheel has a diameter. Doesn't a thumbtack have like a gun in it? What kind of spy is this guy?
It's a Russian spy.
Okay.
He's a Russian
He does
spy.
it so that
He's
when
poor.
he
All he has is
rolls over
thumbtacks
the
and
thumbtack.
polonium or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, we traded in potatoes for that thumbtack.
Okay. All right. The wheel has a diameter of 740 millimeters.
Damn.
Okay, so I know this is 740, and there's a thumbtack jammed in this thing someplace.
At 0.
Oh, and when the bike begins to roll, the tack is at an angle of theta is 0. So the tack is here. Tack. At the height of the wheel's hub, or S is 370 millimeters above the ground. Does that make sense?
No.
Like, if the wheel's 740 across, right? Then this is 370 above the ground. Okay, so then they're asking me for find a formula for S is f of theta. Oh. What? Oh, where S is the height of the thumbtack above the ground. You guys see that?
So is it going the other way? So it just turned like a quarter, so it would be like 90 degrees kind of thing?
What's the solution to this problem? Like, why are we talking about the thumbtack?
So they want me to talk about S and T, right? So T is time,
Yeah, that is
And S is the height.
Is this like,
S is height. Oh, except they want this of theta. So this isn't going to be time, this is just going to be theta, so number of rotations. And all I'm supposed to sketch here is the height of the thumbtack above the ground. So when the theta is 0, how high is the thumbtack above the ground? 370. Cool? So I know that 0, right, in terms of angle, goes to 370 in terms of height. Then what? What else do I know?
At 90, it's
Yeah, okay, so let's measure things in radians, because they didn't say, did they?
I don't think so.
Oh, they did. They said degrees. Okay, so we'll measure this in degrees. So they got, at 90 degrees, how high is this thing off the ground?
740?
It's 740. So this would be 90 input, comma, 740 millimeter output.
Yo, he's rolling backwards.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Well, on the bottom it would be 3.
He's just facing that way.
Same thing.
Yeah, he's facing this.
Oh, basically, okay.
I'm making shit up. They said in terms of angle, right? If I was doing in terms of time, then I'd probably be thinking about which way this is rolling. I'm going to just go with it's rolling that way. That'll, I think, straighten everything out.
I just thought it was 90 degrees usually on top
Yeah.
versus it.
Yeah, I think 90 degrees ought to be on top.
Yeah, I hope so.
So then, what else happens here? Where does this go?
Back down to.
Yeah, it goes back
Yeah,
to
back down to
370.
370.
Okay, so at 180 degrees, right, we're back down to 370. At
270.
270 degrees, where,
0.
yeah, the thumbtack hits the ground and clicks, right?
Yeah.
And then what?
Then it goes back up to
370.
And then at 360, we're back up to
360.
370. And what should this thing look like, roughly? It better look like a sine wave. Why?
Because you're just taking the sign.
Yeah, because you were literally taking the sine of this thing. You guys see that? We're asking about a height, right? Which is a opposite side thing. So I am literally doing the sine function here.
And so that would be the function.
Oops.
You're supposed to find would be sine of theta.
Yeah, and so I'm finding a shifted sine of theta, right? So if I wanted a formula for this function, they didn't ask for this, but
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
it is.
did they?
That was the first thing they
Oh,
asked.
perfect.
Formula.
All right, so let's find a formula. So the formula ought to be something sine of theta. What's the something?
360? Or
Close.
370?
370, right? We need to adjust the amplitude. And then we need to,
Shift it up 370.
yeah, pop it up to 370. So we need to add 370. You guys all see that?
Why is the amplitude 370?
Because that's how far it's moving.
Oh, that's the midline. 370 is the midline.
Yeah, 370 is the midline, and it's also the amplitude.
Was that because it hit the, it started at, the midline is 370 because it started at 370? Is that?
Yeah, because the hub is 370 millimeters off the ground.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Right, so the thing it's
That makes sense,
rotating
yeah.
around is 370 millimeters off the ground. So that's my midline. And then the variability between the midline and the top,
Is 370,
right, is just the
yeah.
radius of the thing that's rotating. So it's also 370.
Okay.
You guys with me on this? Cool.
I don't know why bikes are measured in millimeters.
What's that?
I don't know why bike stuff is measured in millimeters. It's
Because
really,
Because in the 70s, bikes were imported mostly from France.
Everyone else is in metric.
Yeah, and everybody else is in metric.
We're
I
the
know,
only
but why
standard.
not centimeters?
Oh,
'Cause it's
that I
been
don't
imported.
know.